Before you jump on the Grand Princess, let me show you what they don't show you in the shiny ads. There are spots that feel bigger than you think, little secrets no one talks about, and surprises that can make you smile or frown. At first, she looks like a classic ship, but keep watching. By the end, you'll know if she's your kind of adventure or a trip stuck in the past. When you first step inside, the ship feels like a time capsule. Grand Princess launched in the late 1990s as a revolutionary vessel, and some of those design choices still live on today. But here's the thing. Those choices aren't just nostalgic. They can still change the way you experience your cruise. And nowhere is that more obvious than in the cabins. I had an outside balcony stateroom, and the surprise came the moment I stepped out onto that balcony. Wider than most on modern ships, it gave me more space to stretch out and breathe, a design quirk born of a ship built in a different time. But that's not the only relic. Inside, you'll see alcoves once meant for tube TVs, now cleverly repurposed into shelving. And as you unpack, you'll discover a closet generous enough for two adults to actually move in and feel at home. Even the bathroom tells a story, its turquoise tile and perpendicular floor pattern whispering the late 90s. It's retro, yes, but functional. Still, this ship isn't just about what's inside your room. And if you think the cabin is where the surprises stop, wait until you see what happens the moment you head out to the pools. The Grand Princess has 3 very different personalities when it comes to pools, and each one has its own story. The main pool, with the giant movies under the stars screen looming overhead, is where the energy buzzes. Families gather, sports games beam across the big screen, and in the evening you'll find blankets, cookies, and popcorn as the ship transforms into a floating movie theater. It's alive, fun, sometimes crowded. But step just a little further and the mood changes completely. Underneath a retractable dome is a quieter pool, the kind you thank the cruise gods for when the weather turns chilly or rain sets in. The air stays warm, the hot tubs bubble away, and suddenly you feel like you've been given your own indoor spa retreat. And then there's the aft pool, a secret sanctuary tucked away where few people wander. Fewer chairs, fewer voices, nothing but the open wake trailing into the horizon. That's where I found myself more than once, book in hand, wondering why no one else had discovered it. But peace and quiet aren't the only luxury on this ship. There's a hidden spot you won't stumble on unless you're looking for it, and it isn't free. All the way forward, at the very top of the ship, lies the sanctuary. This adults-only retreat is where padded loungers, upgraded lunch options, and sheer silence combine. It's not included, and you have to reserve early, but the moment you sink into that lounger, you understand why regulars swear by it. The question is, do you pay for peace? That decision lingers as you leave, and eventually it comes back around when you explore the ship's dining. Dining on the Grand Princess is where expectations and reality meet head-on. Horizon Court, the ship's main buffet, shows its age in design. 2 separate lines stretch port and starboard, and unlike modern layouts, they're not easy to crisscross. Run out of mashed potatoes on one side? Be prepared to hike to the other. During peak hours, it feels crowded, shoulder to shoulder with fellow passengers. Yet every so often, the buffet surprises. But the buffet isn't the only place where choices raise questions. Alfredo's Pizzeria sits in the atrium, charging a cover for pies made to order. It's good. Really good. Yet the complimentary pizza by the pool is so consistently delicious that you find yourself wondering, why pay extra when free is this good? And the debate doesn't end there. The ship's 2 big specialty restaurants, Crown Grill and Sabatini's, carry cover charges, gratuities, and sometimes even surcharges for premium items. The food is tasty, the atmosphere intimate, but ask yourself this, is it truly better than the main dining room, or is it just a well-designed profit center? If you went every night on a week-long cruise, you'd be adding hundreds of dollars on top of your fare. For some, it's worth it. For others, one celebratory evening is enough. But whichever path you choose, the real challenge is deciding before the cruise ends because reservations vanish fast. Now, once the sun dips below the horizon, the ship shifts again. The atrium fills with music. The wine bar Vines hums with chatter, and the International Cafe hums with the hiss of espresso machines and the clink of pastries being plated. Wander a little further, and you'll stumble into Good Spirits, where bartenders turn cocktails into theater, projecting recipes on overhead screens as you sip along. It feels alive, in a way that only a ship with history and character can. Entertainment sprawls across the decks. The Princess Theater with its Vegas-style productions and guest magicians, the Explorer's Lounge where karaoke and trivia bring strangers together, the Wheelhouse Bar where live bands play under nautical murals. And yet, some spaces sit underused, like the beautiful Vista Lounge often relegated to bingo and little else. It makes you wonder, why does such a lovely venue go to waste? That's a question that hangs in the air until you reach the part of the ship most brochures will never mention. Because here's what they don't show you: the signs of age, water stains above the pool deck, rust creeping along the ceiling, dented walls where luggage carts have passed too many times, elevators with worn buttons. It's not one glaring problem, it's the slow accumulation of small ones. None of them ruin the cruise, none of them send you packing, but if you're the kind of traveler who notices the little things, you'll start to see them everywhere. And yet, just when you're tempted to say, maybe this ship is too old, something happens. On New Year's Eve, the atrium fills with laughter. A band plays Sinatra, champagne glasses clink, and upstairs the buffet serves seafood you didn't expect. You've just come from the aft pool where the wake shimmered gold in the sunset. And in that moment, the rust doesn't matter. The dents don't matter. What matters is how this ship makes you feel right then. That's the truth about the Grand Princess. She isn't new. She won't wow you with water slides or neon atriums, but what she offers is time. Time on a balcony that feels more spacious than most. Time at a quiet pool that no one else bothers with. Time in a lounge where live music still means a trio in the corner, not a pre-recorded track. For travelers who remember cruising's golden years. Or those who simply prefer a ship that moves at your pace instead of demanding you keep up, the Grand Princess still delivers. But if you want the newest bells and whistles, the spotless surfaces, and every venue open and buzzing, there is another ship that might be perfect for you. It's brand new, it's bold, and it's unlike anything you've seen at sea. From the moment you step on board, you'll feel the difference. Sleek spaces, hidden corners, and surprises waiting around every turn. But the real magic? You'll have to see it for yourself. Click the video above, and let's travel.